The New York Mets are entering the new season surrounded by doubt, and the concerns are growing louder as spring training approaches. After missing the playoffs, the front office made a series of moves that have done little to convince fans or analysts that this roster is ready to compete at the highest level. Letting core pieces walk in free agency and moving on from familiar faces has left the team with more questions than answers. While the Mets added solid names like Devin Williams, Semien, and Jorge Polanco, none of those moves qualify as the kind of franchise-altering decision that shifts the balance of power in the National League. On paper, the roster looks serviceable, but serviceable is not enough in a league loaded with elite competition. Former Mets general manager Jim Duquette recently offered a blunt assessment of where the team stands. In his view, the Mets are simply not a postseason caliber team as currently constructed. He pointed to roster metrics and depth concerns, especially in the starting rotation, which he believes does not measure up to other contenders. Several everyday positions also project as below average, creating holes that are difficult to overlook. The challenge becomes even steeper when looking around the division. Atlanta remains strong, Philadelphia continues to look dangerous, and even teams that once lingered near the bottom are improving. When factoring in the rest of the league, it becomes hard to confidently place the Mets in a playoff picture without additional upgrades. That skepticism is shared by others around the game. Veteran columnist John Harper echoed the sentiment that the Mets are not convincing contenders. Offensively, the lineup appears weaker, and the pitching staff carries significant uncertainty. The path to success relies heavily on bounce-back seasons from multiple arms and breakout performances from unproven players. While that scenario is possible, it requires nearly everything to go right, which is a risky way to build a contender. Despite the pessimism, there is still room for imagination. One bold idea gaining traction is an unconventional trade that could instantly change the conversation. The concept involves targeting Angels star Mike Trout. The appeal is not about asking him to be the everyday center fielder of his prime, but rather using him as a designated hitter and middle-of-the-order presence. A healthy Trout would immediately become the most intimidating right-handed bat in the Mets lineup. He would bring star power, leadership, and a proven track record, while also fitting a role that could help manage his workload. There is also a geographic connection that adds intrigue, making the idea feel slightly less far-fetched. As things stand, the Mets are stuck between rebuilding and contending. Without another major move, optimism will remain limited. But baseball seasons are shaped by bold decisions, and one unexpected swing could still change everything.